families for their support, patience, and flexibility for their daughter's high school career. At this time, Leavitt Girls Soccer would like
Here we go, and we are live at the girls' senior night soccer game versus the Lawrence Bulldogs.
Lawrence Bulldogs seniors. Number 19, Teresa Spalding. Number 34, Haley Bowman. And number 4, Delaney Barr. And now for our Leavitt seniors and their families. Our first senior is number 34, Zoe Capone. Supporting her on the field are her parents, Paulette and Kevin Capone, and her brother, Nathan Capone, who is with us here in all of our hearts.
It's in these senior night presentations here.
Sisters, number 20, Julia White, and number 29, Taylor White. They are joined by their parents, Tina and Leon White, brothers Gavin and Abraham White, and their grandparents, Linda Dufour, and in memory, Paul Dufour, Elaine White, and in memory, Ted White. Our next senior is number 17, Haley Holbrook. She is joined by her parents, Seth and Allison Holbrook, and her grandparents, Jim and Claudia Sienko. Our next senior is number 23, McKenna Redstone. She's joined by her parents, Pam and Ben Redstone. And she's also supported by her brother Ian Redstone, who's unable to attend tonight due to being at Lawrence today. McKenna would also like to give a special thank you to her grandparents, Peter and Kathy Thompson, for all of their support from rec soccer all the way up through the high school. And thank you to all of her family who are in attendance tonight. Our next senior is number 27, Madison Lynn Best. She is joined by her parents, Eric and Michelle Lenfest, and her brother, Nick Lenfest. Our next senior is number 7, Caitlin and Air. She's joined by her parents, Angela and Michael, and her brother, Ben Brad, and her Nana, Marion, and her sister, Lauren. Our next senior is number 32, Megan Perkins. She's joined by her parents, Tom and Carolyn Perkins, and her sister, Sarah Perkins. Our next senior is number 44, Shelby Varney. She's joined by her parents, Troy and Dulcie Varney, and her sister, Audrey Varney. The next senior is number 8, Alex Hawksley. She's She's joined by her parents, Rachel McKinley and Travis Hawksley. Her next senior is exchange student Natalia Leavitt. She's joined by her host mother Sarah Berry and her host brother Joshua Berry. Her next senior is number 22, Chloe Bellegarde. She's joined by her parents, Rebecca and Peter Bellegarde, and her sister, Emily Bellegarde. And our final senior is number 14, Maddie Springer. Madeline is joined by her father, John Springer, her mother, Jen Springer, her brothers, Parker and Blake, who is also unavailable to be here as he's playing at Lawrence tonight. We'd like to thank our seniors and their families who have put forth tremendous time and energy for the contributions to Leavitt Soccer and for the memories that these players have been a part of. You will all set an example to the next generation of players in our program, and you will always be remembered by your teammates and your coaches for helping to unite and challenge the team and working towards our goals. We've learned so much from all of you, and you leave with us some difficult holes to fill. Tonight we play in your honor, your passion, and your love of the game of soccer. Best of luck to all the seniors who next year at this time will be taking on new adventures and experiences. We hope the best for all of you. Another round of applause for all the seniors in tonight's game. Now to the starters for the visiting Lawrence Bulldogs.
Beautiful senior night
Excellent weather.
presentation.
Teresa Spalding.
Oh, they're still getting pictures of the whole seniors down here.
Right on a huge
Did we get a good shot of the whole?
did, Ben.
That is a.
Right over there.
Can we get another shot of just how big that whole senior family?
We'll zoom in a bit here.
A beautiful, beautiful image of Leavitt girls soccer.
I'm a huge fan of the ghost balloon.
Oh, I don't. Yes.
I don't know if it's mocking me or flirting with me. It's a
just overall, an awesome shot of all those people. Parents, grandparents, some siblings in there maybe.
huge families. That's really awesome community, awesome families, really big senior group.
We need to figure out where we're going to stand because he's going to run the camera.
I am going to go in the corner.
Are we both going to stand over here and let Ben have the camera?
Yep.
Thank you for joining us on Buzz Media.
And we have Lawrence.
Coming out with their seniors, or their starters, excuse me.
Sophomore, number 5, Emily Rhodes.
We are going to have me,
Sophomore, number 10,
Isaiah Davis, is going to be your steady commentator this game with a rotating cast.
That's right.
Mr. Gentari, you're here for a while.
I'm here for a bit, yeah.
A little bit.
A little.
And then we're going to start tagging out.
Yes. Be swapping.
Lawrence is coached by
Big size difference with the Lawrence varsity team and the Leavitt varsity varsity team.
Yes, only like, ooh, it looks maybe a couple injured players, but only 2 bench players for Lawrence.
Right. It's going to be hard. When you're playing a full, it's almost requiring most of your team playing a full 40 minutes.
Right.
Before they get a break. That is a lot of play.
Yes, it is. Here we have the Leavitt starters. Carly Leavitt, big game at homecoming. The girls had a huge win, which you can watch on Buzz Media with some audio problems.
Carly Leavitt really kept them in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Had the opportunity to, that was my first opportunity to really watch her between the pipes. And I got to say, for like a first-year goalie, you really can't tell she's a first-year goalie. She is fierce out there.
Yeah. The rest of the Hornets played excellent. That was a big upset. Put them back in the playoff hunt. They have been struggling a bit, but now they're moved up. They're not in right now. They're in 13th. Top 11 make it, but they are in striking distance. A win tonight would push them into 12th, up above Wells.
All right.
And then they would still need another win in one of their last couple games, either Madomic or I believe
Waterville, I think is that.
Waterville.
Waterville on the docket.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Waterville can be one of those big games that can help get them in. I don't know where their ranking is.
That's what I'm looking right now. Whoops. So for Madomic, 6-3-2, that's definitely would be a tough game, but it would be the points they need to get in. Waterville's 11-1. Very tough game. I think if you're the Hornets, you're probably targeting tonight and then hoping to get some points against Madomic.
Right, get a big win tonight. Feel that momentum, and then go in hard at Madomic. See if you can steal that win.
Oh.
Oh, here's the national anthem. Over to the one. Really big crowd out here tonight for the girls. I think the weather helps with that. We have quite a bit of attendance.
Yeah, full crowd. Stands are full. We have a great spot here. We can lean in, lean over, and look at the crowd. Also along the fence, I see a nice, the balloon.
Balloon arch.
Balloon arch, yes. Really nice balloon arch. And we have a nice circle of Hornets on the field at the moment.
This is the filler. This is what the captains are saying. This is it. We're doing it for the seniors.
Getting fired up. If we can get a zoom in on that circle as tight as possible, maybe we can read their lips to know what they're talking about.
Oh, I think it's too late.
Looks like there's some yelling.
Just the screams.
Oh. That's going to be a little intimidating for Lawrence since that was clearly 2 to 3 times as many people as are on the Lawrence team.
Yes. They're definitely fired up. They're definitely fired up. Carly's heading back.
And Lawrence has had a tough season. They have yet to get a win. But you know they're going to be trying to punch through tonight, one of their final games of the season.
This will be a big win for the Lawrence Bulldogs.
Yeah, so when you're the Hornets, you don't want to come in too cocky and you could get distracted by like senior night and things. The key is to really be focused and start that game off the way, playing at your pace, really taking control as best you can.
Right. Right. Looks like Lawrence is starting with the ball.
Lawrence looking back. Nice little pregame move. I don't think that was off camera among the Lawrence stopper and sweeper there.
Bump.
Yeah, it was actually sort of a knee bump that they were doing. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. But
there you go. They're charging.
getting into play.
Moving the ball. Oh.
Lawrence just gonna try to attack it. One thing I can say about playing on this field, and Chintura, you know this. You go from defense to offense really quick on this field.
It is very small, little offsides call there.
Yeah, and even that offside call can be tricky because normally your defender gets the ball and makes a pass up. You're not already past midfield.
It can be really tough here. You're not quite used to that play on the small field, and that 20-yard, 30-yard shot is really dangerous here. If you can start chipping it. I remember playing some games with the boys, and
here we have, is that a nair on the?
That's a nair on the ball.
With
a nice cross to the middle, but taken away by Lawrence.
Yeah, so yeah, the boys' games in this field were always memorable, due to some of those lobbed in shots and whatnot.
Yeah, they're really dangerous. They can be really dangerous from further out than what people are used to. I think you'll find that the players are used to seeing shots at the 18 or inside the 18, but shots can be taken like now. I'd be encouraging the girls to, if you're open at this distance, take a crack, see if you can catch them off guard.
Fire when ready. Can I get that Leavitt roster handed to me? Fans at home, if you're watching, we would love to have you talk to us in the comments.
Love the chat. The chat.
We do love that chat.
Leavitt's up with some early pressure. We got a corner.
Looks like that's going to be Caden Air taking the corner.
Yep. Let's see what this. Always wonder if a team's going to have a set play, if they're just kind of scrambling. Oh, a little low.
Knocked out by Lawrence.
Oh, headed for Taylor White. I think that was a direct pass to Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor had a really good game the other day at homecoming as well.
I've known her for a long time as an athlete, and she has come a long way. She has really developed into an incredibly strong player, and is I think they're center mid. Is she here the center mid?
I don't know. I think she's the center mid though. She's definitely a midfielder. I'm pretty sure she's the center mid. That's.
Right. I think she's one of the commanders on the field.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of girls, and they see her as one of the leaders. I don't know if this says if she's a captain on here, but
does not.
Regardless, I know a lot of the girls see her as a leader on the field, just for both her, like what she brings as far as communication, and then what she just brings as a role model. She's excellent.
Mm-hmm. If you're a fan at home and you know who the captains are, perhaps you could tell us.
Yeah, chiming in
the chat. I'm going to continually redirect people watching to the chat. Also, if you're in the chat and you know other people who should be watching this game, you should send them this link. Boost our audience. Oh, we do have. Do we have the captains? Oh, I see a captain on that. It said it on the other side. Captain Taylor White.
Captain Taylor White. Not a surprise for all of the reasons that I was saying earlier.
See, sometimes you just ask questions here on Buzz Media, and then you find out.
Right.
Hornets got the ball down there again. McKenna sending it in.
Close with a good.
And they're early on. They're getting the pressure. I wouldn't say they've had a good look yet, but they're keeping it pinned in there.
They have the right idea though. Take it to the outside, cross it to the middle, see if you can get that decent pass. There it is.
Just nice play by the Lawrence defender actually to knock it down. Otherwise, it was going to be right on Haley's boot. There's a ball sent in.
Ooh.
Keeper makes a save.
And Nair was ready there too. If that keeper would have bobbled that ball, I think she would have been right on it. Here we go, big punt. Oh. Coming back to Taylor White, who's looking up the field. Oh, no out. Wow, dancing on the line there.
Oh, nice ball, but there's just nobody there. No one there to pounce on it. That's still a nice cross. And we have a nice out by Lawrence.
I think you're going to find
Trinity Thabarge.
While I'm on the mic, you're going to, if there's a good cross or a great ball near the goal, you're going to hear the
Gentera excitement.
The Gentera gasp. It's truly just
yes.
so excited.
Oh, there's a nice really ball in by Kaden Air. I like that quick turn and go. Haley drops it for her. She's going to try to send it back into the corner, but it's knocked down by a Lawrence defender.
Right, that quick turn go overlap, that is the soccer dream. I know that's what's preached in the coaching clinics.
Mm-hmm.
We love the overlap.
The thing that will happen a lot of times is players, you'll hear people yell this, well, you have time, you don't have to play it right away. Well, you do have time, but the more hesitation you get, everybody else in the other team is dropping on D.
Right.
If you can just quickly, I mean, you don't want to just turn and boot it, but if you know where you want that ball to go, and the quicker you can do it, the better. And there's going to send another nice long one in. It's going to go a little too high, though, for Taylor. Although she did save it the other way.
It's hard. It's also hard to tell here. I called it earlier that Taylor was dancing on the line, and it should be known that there are blue lines on the field. So you see the white lines of the football field. Oh.
Haley had her.
Good work by the Lawrence sweep, taking that.
Oh. See, in there you heard the Gentera gasp.
It was close. That was a close one, and Air was ready. The ball was coming in hot.
McKenna Redstone knocks it down.
Here we go.
Gives it to Maddie.
To the outside. Oh, Lawrence a chance for some pressure here.
Yeah, one of the things, too, from the Lawrence perspective is when it's been in that long, sometimes you need to get it out just to get a chance to get reset.
Right. You can your spacing and your positions can get all out of whack.
And now I wish if we had sound effects. So Buzz Media is advancing rapidly. We're not yet at the point where we have a soundboard. I would like the hawk noise every time Alex Hawksley plays the ball. If that can be done, then I would.
It could be, actually. I got some ideas. I don't know how much Alex Hawksley would appreciate.
Oh, she would appreciate it.
Okay.
She would appreciate it. Chloe fighting it out, battling there.
Well, there's not a lot of people I trust more back at sweep than the Hawk. Definitely looking to protect her nest. I think that's the last bird pun I'm going to do.
I'm not done. McKenna knocked it off the Lawrence player, and the Hornets are going to get the ball back. I was really just impressed with the physical play of Chloe down there. Not getting a foul, but using her body to muscle up and take it away from Lawrence.
She's a very intense person in general. I'm not
yes.
surprised that
all the Leavitt students who listen to the morning announcements know how intense she is about things as much as what's for lunch that day.
Very intense, very excited. I think she brings cold lunch. I don't think she's a hot lunch type of.
So she just gets excited reading the lunches.
I think she's just excited. We got a substitution. Leah Mayhew's coming in.
Now Leah normally would be a starter, but on senior night with the seniors starting, she's coming off the bench. And we see a lot of seniors on this team.
We have some change now. We also see Ali Nanowitz has come out.
Oh, Chloe again being really aggressive. Chloe, I hope you're watching this video and appreciating my appreciation for how aggressive you are right there.
She's very excited about senior night. You can tell. I'd be concerned if I was the Lawrence offense. Oh, here we go.
There's McKenna. Oh, with a nice ball. Now Leah's going to. Oh, but they did call the offside. For a second, I thought she was on the loose.
If we had professional level replay, I'd really love to.
Actually, can we hit a replay on that to see the offside? Oh, the camera did not capture the offside. But we do have replay. And you viewers, stay tuned because you will see a replay at some point.
That's our goal, is to use it. But that was a great through ball. Just a little unlucky with that offsides call.
Dangerous there in the middle. Oh, Hawksley gets pushed, but she doesn't go down.
No call either. Probably advantage. Little hands up there. but
Huxley's not one to go down easy.
This is going to be challenging for the Lawrence defense because the Lawrence defense has to come and press up or to keep possession, but that leaves
A counter.
That leaves a big counter with Nonowitz and Mayu sitting back, pretty much just on the sweeper. Those two, I would not want to have to defend both of those two players. They are quick. They have good, clean passes. They could be a deadly force.
Meanwhile, Lawrence trying to get some offense, but Chloe is not going to have that. Uh-oh, you have number 4 for Lawrence. That shot was deflected off by Huxley and then cleared out.
Got to relieve some of the pressure. Oh, Chloe, again, using her body to open it up.
It was a nice shot by Delaney Carr for Lawrence.
Yeah, great shot.
Lawrence has got us pinned back a little bit.
Coming. There you go, nice
I
body.
believe that's Maddie.
Nice trap.
They called, I think, the handball there.
Hard to see from up here, but tough call. Oh, really got to be watching these set plays.
And there's Huxley. He's going to take a dribble or two.
Oh, going through.
Or 3.
C1 taking.
And there's a nice ball through.
Okay, Anair's
See if Anair's going to get that in. Will she send it up to Leah? Oh, just broken up.
That's all right, though. You know, the ball's still going to stay here. The Lawrence has to be careful on these transitions. They don't have a deep bench, and they got to work real hard to get up this field.
Yep. The shorter field tonight actually helps Lawrence a lot.
Big time.
Less ground to cover.
Big time, Aid.
We've got all of the Buzz Media staff in the house right now as Mike Hathaway enters. Oh, there's a shot on, saved by the goalie. No, you are going to do on-camera commentary, Mr. Hathaway. Gentura's leaving soon, and we're going to tag in a rotating cast. Meanwhile, balls out, and you're going to be fine at it. Don't worry. I'm sure you've seen some soccer games in your day.
There we go.
But really, if you don't know anything about Buzz Media, there are 3 of us that somewhat in charge of teaching it. Myself, Jamie Gentura, Mike Hathaway. Jamie, what would you say your area of expertise is?
Making sure all the buttons and dials turn on and work.
Tech guy?
Yeah. I'm the button guy.
I'm the talk guy.
The talk guy.
And
I'm the guy that has to give the grade in the class.
Mike is the guy who has to give the grade in the class. Also I think does the organizing and the.
Yeah, it does a lot of the scheduling of the help because you hear our voices right now, but the show really can't be run without the people on the camera, people on the laptop running the show. Everything that you're seeing is due to them.
Right. As I like to tell people in Buzz Media, I'm just the talent. I just show up and put on the headset. I don't. Oh. And if any of you watched us attempt, that's going to be an offside call. But Leah's not offside, and she's going to make the run. Smart play. Oh, they still called it.
Why so late?
I thought when Anair took herself out of the play.
I don't really know, but.
That's why you're going to be good at commentary.
Right. I like the humble, I don't know. Make a call and.
In my years of coaching with parents who didn't know the rules, not knowing the rules did not stop them from yelling.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Here we go. Oh, are they going to call it? Is there a handball? It was very similar to what happened to Maddie. Through ball. Oh.
Leah is going to take this one herself.
Uh-oh.
Looks for nice through ball. And we're not getting in the offside call. Taylor crosses it, but the goalie scoops it up.
Here we go. We're going to have 5 more minutes of Gentura commentary, so I'm going to try to leave on a big note.
Hopefully we'll get a goal while you're here. I know you'll be in the comments once you go home.
I will be watching as soon as I get home. As soon as I get home, I will get probably on the way home. I'll probably turn it on in the car. I will set it on the seat. I'll set it on the seat. I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to follow the law, new laws, hands-free.
Yes.
But I like having it on the
radio. Because
radio.
not only would you get a ticket, but think about what that does to the reputation of Buzz Media.
It's true.
One of our major.
It's true. But I can at least listen to the ice cold commentary and really I'm listening for the score. I really want to hear the good score. Ben like that. Ben like
Right,
that.
and so you'll have to listen but if you were watching, you would see the score on the screen,
Right.
and it is 0-0.
But I won't be watching because I'll be driving. I'm watching the road, looking for deer. It is deer season, folks. Be careful out there.
Buzz Media, just we provide you with lots of helpful information.
On a driving commentary, here's a goal kick by Lawrence.
Now, when Ventura leaves in a minute, one of you is putting on this headset. If nobody jumps to it, well, it'll be Hathaway. Hathaway's on it. He's ready.
Oh, he's primed.
$24:30 to go here in the first half. Still 0-0.
Are you going to make any European-style football jokes?
No, I am now. Daniel Schiffelli had the Vuvuzela out at homecoming,
Ooh.
which was nice.
Yes, that is nice.
For those of you who do not know what a Vuvuzela is, it's that instrument that's really annoying that they started using at the South African World Cup.
Yes,
It's some
excellent.
sort of a
Oh,
horn.
here we go.
Oh, here we go, Leah. Oh,
Is that a goal?
it is a goal.
Kind of a slip on it there.
I wasn't sure. And I'm not sure if that goal goes to Leah or Taylor. I don't know if Taylor hit it when it was already in.
No, I think Taylor kind of, we'll say she walked it in. That was a walk-in goal.
Yes. On the cross there from Leah. And the Hornets are up 1-0. Did we get the replay of that one? Oh, no. Oh, our producer missed it, and I think we may have already gone by the 15 seconds.
Our replay.
That's what you got to be ready for. You get a goal. Next goal, I expect you to be on that replay button.
Here we go. Now that there's all right. Well, since that was the goal, that's a good time for me to sign off.
Thank you very much.
All right, here we go.
Coach Hathaway, how's it going?
It's going well.
You weren't here in time to see the goal.
Taylor White, correct?
Well, I think so, unless it was already in.
Then it's Leah.
It was Leah, but either way, I think it was probably Leah's assist. Leah had, and at the homecoming game, Leah had a couple of deadly goals.
I was there. She was fantastic. The whole team was fantastic that game.
Yes.
Great win against Miranda Cook, man.
Yep.
It was fun to watch. Miranda
And that
Cook's
was a
good
big one.
team.
Put them, so we were talking about the heel point standings. If they win tonight, they would be sitting one spot out
Sweet.
with 2 games left to play against a Madomic team that they lost to by 1 goal.
Uh-oh.
And then a
Carly
Waterville.
Leavitt, has been rock solid in the goal, huh?
Yes. And she actually wasn't in goal the first game around.
Right.
And then the last game of the year is against Waterville, who's 11-1.
Ooh.
You'd probably prefer not to need that one.
Right. Want to take care of business before that one comes up.
Yep. Tonight's moves you up a little bit, though.
Right.
Now, speaking of the standings, now football, you don't have heel points.
Crabtree points. A little
Crab-
different. Yep.
Crabtree points. And what are the Crabtree points looking like?
We are number 1 right now, currently.
Excellent.
We got to win out to stay that way, but
You have 2 games to go?
2 games to go. Cape and Morse. Good cross.
Nice. Leah's going to have to get that turn.
Ooh.
Oh.
There we go. Come up on it.
Chloe, very aggressive. We also
She is
picked up
very
on
aggressive.
that tonight.
When I was down on the sideline there, I watched her throwing the old forearm into people a few
Yes,
times.
but not getting calls.
Right.
This is
Crafty.
effectively using it.
Crafty.
Now, also aggressive is Kaylee Gilbert, but she did get called that time. But
Not as crafty yet. She's a little younger.
Right.
So she's got time to learn it.
and I think as a coach, you obviously don't want to get a bunch of fouls, but you'd rather be getting some fouls than.
Right.
Oh, Leah
They're going to call that? Yeah.
gets
Trail official with the call.
it's taken down, and actually, that's a smart foul by Lawrence. If you're the
Right.
Lawrence coach, because without a foul,
Right.
she is.
In football, it's the equivalent of taking the pass interference when you know they're going to score anyway. Just tackle a guy. Right? All right, here we go.
Lotus Laverdier.
Nice kick.
Sends it
Good bid.
right in on the goalie.
She had a big goal in the Marina Cook game as well.
Yes, she did. And a strong game throughout. I was really impressed.
Yep, she was. Also, got a pretty nasty black eye in that game.
Oh, I didn't know that. We don't have the Zoom technology, I don't believe, to see that black eye.
She looks like she went a few rounds with like Apollo Creed.
Miranda Cook, I'm
That one's way out. That's over the porta potty.
I think the boys probably felt like they went a few rounds after their game as well.
That was a great game as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Miranda Cook's very good in both, but the boys' team they haven't lost a lot of games.
Both games are available online. Unfortunately, here we go. Taylor's going to put that in. Must have caught it.
What are they calling? Out of bounds?
Yep, goal kick. Both games are available online. The audio was not great, but you can watch both games. The girls had the exciting 3-2 victory, and the boys the tough 1-0 overtime defeat. Football on Saturday night.
Yeah, big win against Wells. The boys came to play. Snapped their 33-game win streak.
When was the last time they lost?
They lost to Cape Elizabeth in 2016, but we were talking the other day. If you go from 2013 to now, they've lost 4 games, and 3 of them were to us in 2013 and 14. So really, since 2013, they haven't lost to anybody but Cape.
And us.
That's it.
Wow.
So that's quite a run.
Now, the years that you beat them in the past, how did things turn out those years?
We won the state championship in 2013. And then in 2014, we beat them but lost in the state championship to Winslow pretty bad up at Orono. We got smoked.
And do you know if Cape won the year that they beat him?
They did not. Wells came back and beat them
in the playoffs.
Yeah, it was a regular season game, and Wells came back and beat them pretty handily in the playoffs.
So there's a good chance. Now, how does the playoffs work this year as far as how many teams make it? And 8 make it. Okay, so there's no buys.
No, 1v8 and so on and so forth.
As it stands currently, who's the 8 team?
Lake Region. We actually played last year in the playoffs. So.
And then who would your other possible?
Poland. It's going to be one of those two.
One of those two.
If we finish first.
Okay. Meanwhile, not to take away from the game here, it is a 1-0 game with 18 minutes to go.
Yeah, Lawrence is playing tough. They're hanging around.
I know, for a team that hasn't won a game,
right?
They've looked pretty good. The other thing, though, is they have a really small bench.
We were noticing that over on the sideline. And, you got like 2 girls over there that can come in, maybe 3. I'm not sure about the girl in the blanket, but here we go.
Let's have bounce. You do have to be careful of those bounces. And Carly, not being an experienced goalie,
right?
I can tell you that this field is hard, and the ball bounces higher than it does on.
Different than up there.
Oh, Leah caught offside again. That's happened a couple times. That one was close, but
it's a good thing there's no offsides in the morning pickup game that I play in, because I'd be offsides all the time.
Leah's face says she did not agree with that offside call. Well, back McKenna, but Lawrence takes it away.
Onowicz. She's aggressive too.
She is.
I like the way she plays.
Oh, and here she's going to send a long ball to Leah. If it can stay in bounds, she's not going to get there.
Almost. Good run at it though. And Onowicz, she's not afraid to throw a little elbow in there once in a while.
No, there's actually quite a few girls on this team that don't mind being aggressive.
I thought it helped them against Miranda Cook. I thought just watching the game, like I said, I'm not an expert by any means, but I thought we were the more physical team during that game, winning a lot of 50-50 balls, things like that.
Yep. And as a coach, you'll take those fouls if it means you're going to be the most aggressive team.
Yep.
The thing that you always have to coach your guys up is to play different inside the 18.
Right.
Because the penalty kick.
Those are penalty kicks. Those are tough.
And actually, there was a penalty kick against Miranda Cook, but Leavitt made the save.
Charlie made a great save.
Oh, great cross.
Who's number 9?
9 is Lily Anktel. She's a freshman.
Lily Anktel, yeah. There you go.
Now Lawrence is going to go to those subs. Now, if you're a coach with 2 subs in a game like this, I got to think you're going to want to sub pretty early so you can rotate.
Yeah, I would think the early and often approach would be the way to go, right?
Right. Because I have coached games with 2 subs, like summer games.
Right.
When sometimes even
it happens to us in hoop too. You roll in somewhere with 7 guys, and you just, every 4 minutes you send in another
Leah's
2.
going
There we
to
go.
fire just wide. Now, that would be a good replay. Can we get a replay of that? Mostly, I just want to take advantage of the fact that we have a replay.
It happens
button.
to us in hoop too. You roll in somewhere with 7
On this
guys.
replay,
and
you'll
you
see
just, every 4 minutes you
Leah's
send
shot
in
goes off.
another
Leah's
2.
going
There we
to
go.
fire just wide. Now, that would be a good replay. Can we get a replay of that?
Oh, it's coming up,
Yeah. No, it worked, though. We got it. We got the replay. Just wide. Hopefully, we're going to see more replays of goals. Here's Leah again.
There we go. Ah.
Mm.
Oh, man.
She,
that was a kick to her own teammate's face.
ball is out and fired there by number 9, Lily Anktel. Not now. Hornet analogies get overused, but you really want to swarm on these
Right.
as much as possible.
What's the strategy here when you kick from the
Now,
corner?
there's a lot of different ones, and usually you have a few different plays. And this one, they've got everyone out, so I'm assuming she's going to send this one straight to the middle.
Taylor
Oh, no,
came
she's going
around.
with the short kick instead.
It was like a stagger screen.
Yes.
For those of you that know some hoop.
I faked that I knew what that is by saying yes, but I do notice. I mean, I can guess what, based off the name. Gilbert gets it back to Chloe. The Hornets are going all the way backwards here.
Here we go. Come on, get it.
Nice save by
Lotus.
Back in, but Lawrence is not playing badly. Like they're back in their end a lot, but they're playing solid D and getting it cleared. Still, the Hornets have got to want to jump on some of these opportunities and put it in.
Here we go.
Cleared. Earlier we were discussing how every time Hawksley kicks the ball, we should have a hawk noise. Just the. That throwing goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a Hornet goal kick. Good sized crowd tonight, huh?
Yes,
I
it
did
is.
not realize you were eating
Trying to eat my dinner at the same time.
in between. Yeah.
Yes, it is a good sized crowd tonight. There we go. Ah, good play. So I'm going to test my knowledge here. Is Alex Hawksley the sweeper for our team?
Yes, she is.
All right.
So named because she sweeps up anything that gets through the D.
It's the last line of defense. My wife was a sweeper, so that's the only reason I know that and know anything about soccer.
And
I had watched a few of her games in college.
in high school, she played on the boys' team because there was no girls'
There
team.
was no girls' team back then.
So I actually played
She
D.
should really be up here, not
She
me.
really should be. I actually played D with Michelle
No good.
for the Leavitt Hornets. Not only was she really good, but she also was a captain
Yeah. she's
and was
pretty-
very loud and vocal out on the field.
I bet she was. She's pretty loud and vocal. It's tough to see that corner down there.
Yeah,
huh?
it is.
Not-
And I don't want to
probably
lean
read
in
the
too
way of
much
the
because I'll
camera,
be in
right?
front of the camera, right? But that kick went out of bounds, and it's going to be a goal kick for Leavitt. Yeah, she was very vocal, very physical. And sometimes she dealt with some trash talk
Right,
and things
sure.
from people, assuming 'cause she was a girl. And usually by the end of the game, they had learned their lesson. Here, Leah. Number 3 did a really nice
That's a good
job,
play.
actually, on defense. That was Allison Nickerson keeping up with her. Ball crossed into the middle. Ooh, that was definitely an obstruction call there by Lawrence, but they didn't call it. You cannot body up to somebody unless you're in control of the ball and just block them from going around you.
I think I've seen that one in field hockey as well, right? Same idea. Field hockey, though, it appears as though you really can't do anything.
Yes, in field hockey there are many things that are not allowed. Soccer famously has a very small rule book. They pride themselves on it. There's only a couple rules. I believe I should know this actually. It's either 7 or 11 or whatever it is. That's you can't touch the ball with your hands.
Right.
You can't push people down. You can't obstruct. Can't be offsides. Obviously, is the one that leads to the most confusion.
There you go.
Now, here's a test of your knowledge.
Okay.
Do you know the offside rule? Oh!
Oh!
And it's still loose.
So if you're offsides, I believe that you are further ahead on offense than any of the defenders. Is that correct?
Or the ball. If you have the ball, you can go anywhere you want.
I gotcha.
It's actually technically 2 defenders, but the goalie counts as one of them. So there needs to be, because if the goalie comes up, then there would need to be.
Right.
There needs to be 2 people between you and them. But the part that gets tricky is this. Once the ball is passed to you, you can go ahead of the ball.
Yep.
So, like, if a ball comes from back at midfield and is put up high, Leah could then run by the defense. She does not have to wait for the ball to get
the ball's
there.
In the air.
And she would be onside. And that's the one that a lot of times fans miss because they don't see what happened.
Right. And I don't think in hockey you can do that, right?
No. And then on the opposite end, if we were to play it like this
nice.
might be an offside.
Here we go. Come on.
Oh.
Boom.
Oh, great opportunity there. Put over by Taylor White, but nice strong kick. So the one that gets a lot of sort of controversy or misunderstanding is if you're offside and the ball's past you and while the ball's on the way to you, you get back onside, you're still offside.
Oh, you are.
Yes. You cannot be offside when the ball's passed to you. And that's the one that usually fans are yelling incorrectly.
Right. I just know in football, if you're offsides, you get yelled at.
Yes.
That's the rule.
Other than that, though, the soccer rules are pretty simple. Oh, nice.
That's a good kick.
Yep. Nice save by the keep. Keeper's played well. She has given up some rebounds, but we haven't been able to take advantage of any of them yet. Chloe steps up. Steps up again. Gets it to an air. Back to Chloe, and Chloe with the quick send. Oh.
All right.
It's the right idea. Nonowitz steps over her after knocking her down. Oh, nice long ball. Nobody's there. A little too far.
Looks like we got an injured
Oh.
player now. She didn't move her arm initially, so now she's picking her head up.
She's reaching her hand up to get picked up.
I know sometimes in basketball you get the flop, and I've seen in some soccer highlights that happens.
Oh.
Not saying that she did on that one, but
Yes.
there
No,
are
I don't
times
think
when
that's an
that
example,
occurs,
but
right?
flopping is definitely a key thing. And especially, you don't really see a lot of flopping at midfield. Again, it's inside that 18-yard, inside the goalie box. That's where people tend to flop, trying to get the PK.
Before we have a quick break in the action, just a reminder that we do have hot apple crisp, or at least warm apple crisp down behind the stadium here. Also, if you want to use about 5 minutes, help yourself, folks. Onwards 15. Thank you.
I sampled the chop suey and the grilled cheese, and they were quite good.
Now, there was I assume, a dad that was actually wandering the stands with food and just saying, who's going to purchase this? And individually pointing at people, telling them until they bought it.
Like a push.
It was a yes, it was high pressure sales, one grilled cheese at a time. And it seemed to work.
7:40 left. Still a 1-0 lead for the Hornets.
Yep. Lawrence has got to actually feel pretty good about where they are.
They are right now, you're right. Be nice if we could punch another one in here before the half. Nonowicz.
Sails that one wide. have another sub. Oh, looks like the I believe the injured player coming back in.
Yeah, it looks like the player coming off is limping a little bit.
Yes, but I think that's not. I think that may have been the girl that was down before. Lawrence definitely doesn't need any injuries with only a couple subs. They're going with the short kick. Oh, and then back.
That's not.
That's
not typical.
No, and
Dangerous.
that's a. Alley crossed the wide. That is a move that players like to do, and as a coach, it is not something. I feel like often you see that. It comes from the fact that, like, you know, maybe they can't lift it up. If you pass it up and you get a rolling ball back, you can send it. But there are too many things that can go wrong on that play. And I would definitely be yelling at my players when they pulled that. For very little benefit, also.
Right.
Oh, here we go. There's a nice run.
A good run.
Oh, just wide.
Is that chase on?
No.
Yeah, replay. See a replay on that one.
For very little benefit, also. 26?
Right.
Oh, here we go. There's a nice run.
I think it might have been
Sarah Perkins. Oh, just wide. Because I don't
Is
see a
that,
28 out
chase
there.
on?
And she was coming in from the side. Just wide.
My
She came in.
vision's not quite what it used to be.
She made the smart play to come crashing in.
Right.
One of the things you can do.
26. That is Megan Perkins.
Here it is. Lawrence is marking. Oh, Leah up front, but.
Oh, is she all right? Yeah.
Gets out.
She's angry, not.
Yeah, I think that was an angry fall. Leah usually puts that in the back of the net. There is definitely an opportunity right now for some of those outside mids and other players to make runs in and score, like Perkins just tried to do, because the defense has their handful with just our forwards. There's a nice corner kick. Knocked down by Perkins, but Lawrence comes away with it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'd agree with that call, actually.
I would have called it a charge in hoop, but I guess it's not really block charge in soccer, right?
She did fall down, but after she kind of threw herself into the player. And I actually think even in basketball, that would have been a foul. She did not have her feet set. And
them officials like to call charges.
There's Gilbert getting it back.
Oh,
now that one, it could have gone the other way. That's Julia White.
Yeah.
Julia's stepping up again. Perkins, let's see if the Hornets can build up a little bit of an attack here. Oh, that's going to be an offside. Now, Lawrence's defense. Yeah. So strategically, what we're trying to, Lawrence is pulling their defense up really far.
Yep.
What the Hornets need to do is you can't be offside in your own side of the field. They really need to plant Leah right on the 50 and then send the ball sooner, because
let her go run after it.
What they're doing is they're pulling that defense up,
right,
which is very frustrating, but it's also dangerous because you could set up some serious breakaways if you can beat the offside trap. So what they do in the offside trap is the defense all at the same time pulls up when the forwards aren't paying attention. And I think that's what they're doing. That's why Leah's been frustrated not realizing she's offside until...
You're kind of forcing the offside.
Yes.
That's part of the scheme.
Yes.
That's tricky. I like it.
The offside trap is great if everyone on the defense is ready for it. What's really bad is if all the defenders but one pulls up, then you've just given them a lot of space to operate in. Last 3 minutes to go here. Hornets going to be going back on the attack.
Here we go.
The other one that always killed me for these night games were those blue lines, because players are used to the white line.
Right. Do they just make a blue one because there's so many white lines on the football field?
It's
not the idea to
just
stand out.
Yes, and to try to make it wider.
Yeah.
So you can't really make this field any longer, but
How much shorter is this than a regulation field?
Let me see. Where's the ball? The goals are pretty far back. So that's
You got probably
110.
110 yards.
So it's actually, I believe the minimum regulation is supposed to be 120.
Yep.
But then it can be longer than that as well.
Right.
And you do see when you play around the state, fields are different sizes.
Right.
There was a range we could do. Sometimes we would talk to our the grounds crew. If I had a team that was really fast, me and Coach Cifelli would discuss it. We'd want the field to
Open
be
that thing
bigger.
up a bit.
If we had a team that did not have a lot of speed, we would try to keep field on the smaller side.
Right. So the smaller field actually probably helps Lawrence here, right?
Yes, definitely. It was always nice for us to try to get an upset on the night game because the field's smaller, our guys are fired up.
Right.
It can frustrate the opposing team. We also have got to be ready to crash on those sooner because you know if it's going to be a shot on net, we need to be ready to pounce. It's McKenna Redstone, sends it into Leah. Leah's going to get shut down by the defender once again. Nice work by the Lawrence. It's the range. So, actually, 100 to 120 is the range. So, this field's not that much short. Some years, when they would mark the field, they would put the goal on the front of the goal line.
So it's only 100.
So it was only 100. But as it stands, pretty good. Now, what's the width of the football field?
53 and a quarter, I believe. Or 53 and a third.
So that's probably 3 more yards on each side. So what did you get a did we get an average width of the or regulation? We're on that. So this is less than 60 wide though, when you say? Even with the blue lines.
So yeah. I mean, it looks like you got another what, maybe 2-3 yards
Right.
outside. So on each side, you're probably talking no more than 60.
Yeah.
All right, we're at halftime, 1-0.
The Hornets have a big crowd walking back to the goal
Right.
to talk things, and actually, the Hornets have played well, other than finishing.
Right.
And
I feel like we could capitalize on a few more of the rebounds. The goalie's mishandled a couple.
yeah,
And it'd be nice if we could get down there and get something punched in.
So, excuse me, for the gift card trade.
well, 50.
Raffles going on. It's a lot warmer in here, so I'm going to take off a few of the layers
Yes.
that I had on from the deficit set.
Oh, so the regulation is anywhere from 55 to 80. This is definitely on the small side of that.
And the winner of the Leavitt Girls Soccer gift card tree raffle is Lisa Renu.
Excitement on winning a raffle. I'm not sure exactly what was won. Oh, I actually am part of handing off the raffle now. I have your, we have it right here. Do we get the camera on the winner of the raffle? There it is. Oh, you. Very exciting over here. And a couple comments. Jason Ames, it's going very well. Glad to see you. Hope things are good. And Gentura gave a props to Ben, I assume for, I don't know if he's complimenting your production or camera work. Yeah, when do you guys put on this headset? Ben, how's it going?
It's good, it's good.
Is this your first game for Buzz Media?
It is.
And you've done camera and here. Move the mic a little closer to your mouth.
All right.
Now you were doing production and camera work.
Yep.
Now Ventura complimented you. I don't know if he was complimenting your camera work or your production.
I don't know either.
I don't know what exactly. Maybe he could be more specific with his comment.
I'd say Brady's the camera guy.
Brady he's working on something on the camera now. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's adjusting the handle out there on the tech people. How are you feeling about doing Buzz Media stuff? Are you in the class as well?
I am in the class.
Now, do you play a fall sport?
Yeah, I play football.
Right. But then on your side, you're also working on
Buzz Media.
Buzz Media, and you play basketball as well.
I do.
So, probably not going to be able to do a lot of Buzz Media stuff for basketball season.
Nope.
Possibly, maybe a few interviews and whatnot. What else have you been working on in Buzz Media?
We've been working on our PSAs.
What are you doing a PSA on?
We did it on sportsmanship.
Nice. Now, were you behind the scenes or were you on camera for this PSA?
Both.
Where you're like, is this like, did you do like a skit? Did we have like
we did a football skit and a basketball skit. I was in the basketball one and the camera guy for the football one.
Nice. Are these PSAs going to be put up on Buzz Media for people to, watch and learn from about sportsmanship?
Hopefully, yeah. Once we are done editing and all that, then they'll be up.
Excellent. How's the editing process? Taking a long time?
We haven't really got started. We're still trying to film because our class has had a couple of the things to film with it has been dead, so
Okay.
we just need to get a good class going far. So,
Get rolling on that.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on the game here in the first half?
It seems to be on one side of the field for most of the game. It's an okay start, I'd say. I'm not really a soccer guy, so I don't really
Now, what is your soccer experience? Did you ever play?
First grade.
In first grade. What
Yeah.
do you remember from first grade soccer?
I don't remember much, but I just remember one game I scored like 5 goals.
Oh.
That's it. Against Buckfield.
Oh, wait, against Buckfield?
Yep.
Just torching the Bucks, the 5-year-old Buckfield Bucks.
Uh-huh.
Excellent.
It was a combined boys and girls team. So.
And you, so I'm guessing you were probably fast at 5.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in the 5-year-old world of soccer, it's really about being fast enough to outrun the other 5-year-olds. It's kind of just a cloud of kids usually at that age. So it probably doesn't translate that well to high school varsity.
No, not at all.
If your 5-year-old self was here, though, what would you tell this team they need to do differently?
Pass it upfield more,
Yeah.
I'd say.
At 5, you probably also didn't have to worry about offsides as
No,
much.
no.
Yeah, that's really slowed down our offense so far tonight. Now, were you also... We have the new Buzz Media technology. Did you able to get some instant replays going?
Yeah, I did. Couple.
If you had the ability to add one thing to Buzz Media that would improve our production, what would it be? Like if we could have a drone, or if we could have... I personally would choose a drone, because I would love to be able to drone. Apparently that's not allowed.
Either the drone or mic'd up with some of the players during the game, like Carly in the goal or something like that.
That would be really awesome.
Maybe a camera by the goals.
Oh, yeah. Like a camera behind the net.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be really good. Now, technically, we could just leave like a cell phone back there. That's something we might... I don't know if we were allowed to mic up the players. That might be dangerous, too, as far as what... in a live broadcast.
Yeah.
Although it's a good idea. But I feel like the camera in the goal is something that could happen really anytime.
Yeah, we could set it up right now.
We could possibly set up a camera in there until the phone battery died, at least. If not that, maybe now, do either of you guys have the app on your phone?
I do.
Do you think in the second half here, when we're back to commentating, we can send you down on the field and have one person run the camera and the... You got to check your battery.
Yeah, I'm at 20, 25, so...
I think what it's going to involve, Mr. Hathaway, is one of us is going to have to commentate and run the camera so the other person can produce. I think we can stretch, or maybe we can recruit from the booth here to run the camera. Now, yes, at least until we get. So you're going to be doing production, and we're going to have 2 cameras. If I don't know that we can get in the goal, but you definitely can get behind the goal, and I think you definitely want to be behind the goal Leavitt's going to be heading at.
Okay.
See if we can get. I mean, you could actually be right. You can't be on the field, but you could be behind the fence there, zoomed in.
Yeah.
Get some quality action.
Maybe next to the goalpost. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're supposed to be back there, but
Have to check with LaRoche.
yeah, you could check with LaRoche. You definitely can be behind the fence, but that's pretty far away. We can get you as close as we get. Well, ask LaRoche what's allowed. I liked your idea. Here, let's switch up the headset here. You luck out because there's very little time left before we go to the second half. But nice work back there.
Thank you.
I'm blanking. I want to make sure I get your name right.
Brady.
Brady.
Thank you.
This is not your first game, correct?
No.
So you did field hockey at homecoming
Yes, and varsity girls soccer.
and the varsity girls soccer game. Do you feel like over the last 4 days you've improved? What are you getting better at?
We're getting used to the editing software because we haven't really done a lot of live stuff in the class yet. So this is just making. It's new. It's
new.
new
And have
experience.
you had the ability to use 2 cameras and edit them yet?
Or
is this gonna be new for you?
This
This will be a new second half
Yeah,
experiment where
probably.
you are. Hopefully, we're going to catch a goal by
hopefully.
somebody in the Hornets, maybe multiple goals by the Hornets. What you got to do is you got to be ready. You can switch out the cameras, and then I believe, but I don't know, that if you were on this camera but then they scored, I think you could switch cameras
Yeah.
and do a replay
Yep.
of the other camera. So there's a lot of possibilities there.
Oh yeah.
And if we have 2 cameras, we're going to get as many replays as we can.
We'll try.
All right. I will let you switch back.
All right. Thank
Be
you.
prepared to produce. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Hathaway, are you going to film and commentate? Are you going to choke? He's going to actually choke at the moment. As we're about to.
It might have been a whole lemon in that lemonade.
Man.
Meanwhile, here we start the second half. We recruited. Did you survive that lemonade?
I think so. might be a little raspy here to start the half. But
Hornets getting right on offense and a nice cross. I actually don't want them to score until we get our camera down there. Oh.
try it.
What's he trying to do? Oh, he doesn't think it'll reach that far? You may need to figure out a hand signal so we can let him know whether or not he can connect.
I would suggest the thumbs up.
Yes, that's the easy
Not
one.
an expert, but
So, the Hornets trying to keep him pinned here early. And I really, like I said, I'd like the girls to score, but not until we get that sideline camera. If they could just kind of keep it down in this end for a minute or two.
right. What's the strategy on a throw-in? What are
Okay.
you trying to accomplish there? Oh,
There is a lot of strategies in the throw-in. So one of the things that we were discussing offside, there is no offside with throw-in. So if you have someone that can throw far, you could send someone literally all the way to the end line, and you will see. Oh, looks like we got a
yeah, I think she got hit with the ball.
little shaken up. I think
Saying
she's okay.
Double thumbs up. That means we don't need
Very,
to sub.
yes. And they're going to be taking the corner kick. I have more to say on throw-ins, but I'll
All
wait.
Here we go.
Looks like
Oh, they ran the stagger again.
Oh, nice ball, but they did not have. Now, speaking of the play on the corner, you always want somebody whose run is a back post.
Yep.
Nice shot by Lotus. It's going out. And that back post person should be there to pop that in the
Pop that
net
one
if
in.
that goes over. They did have someone making that run, but they were too slow. They've got to time their run because that was a perfect corner kick. So on the throw-in, it depends. If you want to use it to go directly into the offense, especially if you can have some sort of a deep throw, you should do that. Otherwise, it's just looking to get it to the open person and start some passing. If you're going to, teams.
What about the flip throw? Do you see that kind of?
Now the flip throw, yes. Usually someone who can do a flip throw can throw it really far. And I've had people before, really anywhere from half field, they can throw it to the goal. You can't score on throwing.
Right.
It is what they call an indirect. But if you can basically make it like a corner kick. Throw it right at the goal. Meanwhile, we've got the ball coming out.
The pushy vendor guy's back. He's selling chips.
Yes. This is the.
If he's selling some of them chili cheese corn chips, I might be in. There we go.
Lotus steps down to Anair. Anair sends it in.
Right out the goal we go.
Yep. And Leah was out wide if that had gone far post with that instead. One of the things on some of those crosses, we're taking a lot of them to the near post. If you go to the far post shot.
Which I think is the way we scored our second goal against Marina Cook. Right?
Yes.
I think Leah crossed one to the far post.
Yes. And then you had.
Kind of punched it in.
Yep. I think it was Lotus that punched it in, right?
Oh, yeah, it might have been. Yeah, you might be right.
Here's an air, and she's onside. She's going to be looking to get a nice cross. So.
Well, we had some people running, too.
Yep.
Taylor and Leah were right there.
What you want in that, too, is you'll sometimes hear the coach yelling, turn your hips.
Yep.
Because if you don't turn your hips, you're going to kick it out of bounds in the direction you're running. Anything that could get that back.
I've also noticed that when Lawrence kicks the ball out of the goal, this is called a goal kick.
Yep.
They have a player kick it off the ground. But when we do it, we tend to have the goalie punt it.
No.
Or is that something different?
No, that's a different thing.
Okay.
So a goal kick is when it goes out of bounds.
Okay, so that has to be kicked from the ground.
That has to be kicked from the ground.
By a player, or can it be the goalie?
It can be the goalie. And I do think that, I believe we have been having, I'm not sure if we have our goalie kicking it.
If you would have your goalie kick it, that you would have another person out there to.
Absolutely. If your goalie, as long as your goalie has
good leg.
a good leg.
Come on, McKenna.
And there's won a lot of balls today. But
we should have fired up the play clocks for a shot clock.
Oh, yes.
Got to put it on goal.
Here's another corner coming. Back in. Oh, we just need somebody there. Fire this one on net. That's going over. But it's still a good idea to just fire that shot off. That was Kaylee Gilbert there. Yeah, one of the key things, too, on a corner kick is there's a lot of different plays you can do if you want to do a short kick or a drive or a floating one. But the key is that your team knows what it is you're going to do. Right. If you have a kicker who can consistently do the same thing with the ball, that makes it a big weapon.
So do they actually, like, oh, here we go.
Leah.
Do they actually, like, call a play?
So it depends. I'm not sure if the girls are today. I know that the boys definitely call plays. And they, even to the extent of which player it's going to.
Really?
Yeah.
And how do you name the plays?
They were calling them kind of like Hornet, I believe, was one of them. Right. They were kind of like what you would expect from plays.
All right. As you know, in football, there's a lot of calling of plays, so you have to come up with quite a few things.
One of the things that we did is to try to make it seem like we had more plays than we did. We would be there would be one play that was a color, and it didn't matter what color you said.
Right. That's how we do some things. That's how we do some things at the line of scrimmage sometimes. Like, you know, it might be like a superhero, and you just call it a superhero, and it means a certain play.
Yeah.
We've used fruit before and things like that.
We
It was a nifty little play.
I still remember back when we used to be Class A and we played Lewiston. We had 3 different formations that we would use.
Yep.
And we named them after countries. So if we were doing Italy, we have more people back on defense.
Right.
And then if we did Brazil, we'd have more people up. But the other thing we did is that year in the World Cup, Cameroon. Oh.
Good bid.
And that time we did have people closing. That's something that's been missing earlier is having people crashing. So Cameroon had advanced really far in the World Cup just by playing incredibly hard. Like they should not have been able to win.
Nice play.
Oh, that's a nice ball.
that in
Anair's
bounds.
got that in, and she's got people on the backside.
Oh, good play by Lawrence,
Yep.
number 20.
Yeah, because there was definitely 2 Hornets there. The Hornets this half are doing a better job having people there on those crosses. It's going to be a matter of time.
Lauren Hume for Lawrence there, making a great play.
Here we have the corner. Short kick. Oh, Nanowitz fires it. They got the shot off on that.
Right.
Just a little bit wide. So we were playing at Lewiston at a night game, and what we had devised is Cameroon didn't mean anything. It meant just play harder.
Dummy call.
Yes. And we, Lewiston was a much stronger team than us that year. We got ahead of them, and we did change formations. And when the first time we changed, oh, there's a nice cross. Allie's going to fire
There we
that
go.
one.
Oh,
Nice
good
save by the
save.
keep. And we had changed plays, and they had been yelling to their coach, trying to figure out what we were doing. We scored a goal. We went up late. And one of the things in soccer is it's hard to communicate. So I always told them, if I call anything, Italy or whatever I call, you need to yell it out.
Echo the call.
So with about 20 minutes left, and we're yelling Cameroon, and it's echoing across the field, and the Lewiston kids are looking at their coach saying, we don't know what they're doing different, and trying to figure it out. We hung on for the win, and the next day in the hallway, there were many Cameroon calls coming down the hallway at Leavitt the next day.
So you guys beat Lewiston.
Yep. We actually were pretty successful
Did
against
you
them.
retire the next day? Because you probably should have.
Leah's going to... Oh, no, I was going off haircut, but I actually think that was...
There we go.
Oh! Off the post!
Oh,
And in!
come on.
Oh, and the keeper came up with that. There's some excitement. And another Lawrence player down. Stop the clock. Lewiston was not, but I actually think that was...
There we go.
Oh!
Today,
Off the post!
Oh,
They were good. but
And
they
in!
were not.
Not like, come on.
No,
Oh,
we
and the
actually had
keeper
a lot of
came up
success
with that.
against them. There's some
Man.
excitement. We beat them a few times, we tied them, and then we had a lot of games that were close. They actually only blew us out one time, which was that game that I talked about was their homecoming.
Yeah.
And we didn't play them again that year. And the next year, we played them in our night game.
Yeah.
They showed up with cheerleaders, and they were really fired up, and they just crushed us. They got the revenge for our Cameroon victory. But other than that, we were good. I don't know what the injury is here.
No, it looks like maybe it was an ankle or a shin. I know you have the shin guards, but I would still assume that getting kicked in the shin hurts.
Yes.
And they are helping her off the field, so not a lot of depth for Lawrence. That one could hurt.
Yeah, and that puts you down to just one sub to go. Keepers are getting ready to take this. Ooh, short
Get
kick.
in there.
She's got it. Sends it over, but the defender
Good
knocks
play.
it. I don't know what the shots are, but there have been a lot of shots this half.
Yeah. You need to just push one more through here to give you that 2-goal lead.
And it could be one of those things too, where once they get 2 goals, Lawrence lets up a little bit, and then we actually pop in
Right,
a
then
few.
the floodgates open, right?
Because right now, if you're Lawrence, as dominating as this is, it just takes one run the other way and you're tied.
Tied up. You can never let the underdog hang around. It's
No.
dangerous.
Leah. Chase backwards there.
Uh-oh. Oh, here we go.
Oh, and see, that's where the offside trap failed, because instead it left her alone. Oh!
So close.
I think that was a nair that was out front. She got her foot on it, but couldn't get in front
Might
of
have
it.
been Taylor White, actually. Maybe not. I don't know.
We got, I guess our dream of the other camera didn't last.
No go on the other camera.
Oh.
What are they gonna call there?
Yeah, it's going against the Hornets.
You're right. Lotus
Oh, it's a
sends
nice
it in.
ball. They're offside, though. Although, I actually didn't call it, but I'm pretty sure they were offside. The other thing often on football fields, and I don't know, is our field crowned at all?
No. Our field is almost the opposite of that.
Oh, well then.
There are several valleys in our field where the water pools.
I remember from. There were a
Like
lot
it,
of
like-
football fields that are crowned, and so sometimes you make a throw in on the sideline and the ball rolls right out of bounds.
Like Lewiston before they got
Lewiston, yes,
like
was
that.
really crowned.
The old
We-
joke in football was when you were at Lewiston, when you looked across the sideline, you could only see the other
Yes.
coaches from the neck up.
So you can imagine how in
Such a
soccer,
crowd, right?
with the ball rolling,
Right.
that made a big difference. It was a challenge to keep the ball in bounds.
Here we go.
Oh, and there's a nice ball. I would have said put that ahead, but actually number 3's also been able to stay with Leah when they've had some runs. That's Allison Nickerson for Lawrence.
She's had a solid game tonight.
Yeah, easily we'd have a couple more goals if she hadn't been back there.
Oh,
Here we go. Now it puts it on net. That would have been a nice one to maybe get across further out away from the goalie, so those two could pounce on it.
double header.
Nope. Nice ball. Leah, if she could put it in the middle, she's got an air. Takes it in and cross. Oh, and a beautiful goal. Make sure we hit the replay on that, guys.
I think that was a good decision by Leah there.
Oh,
She
she's
could
got
have
an
crossed it
air.
a little bit earlier, but didn't quite have control of it.
Yeah.
Where she could get it across and then just kind of got control of the ball.
And then at the end,
cross.
oh, and a beautiful goal. At the goalie or where the goalie
Make sure we hit the-
put it back just far enough.
Yep.
Now who was it? White that put that in,
Thought
Taylor?
it was Taylor, yep.
Yeah, I think it was Taylor there. Who was also in a great place. That would be what we call the garbage run.
Oh, we just missed it on the replay.
Oh, now we're back to the live. Chintura had talked about where the garbage run was in an earlier play, and
That's it.
it was there.
So now with the 2-goal lead, as a coach, does your strategy change a little bit? Do you play a little more conservative, or?
In this game, I would not. I mean, I think it depends on your opponent. I think
Yeah.
where it dominated so much, I'm not going to do
Put the
anything.
pressure on and
Yeah, if anything,
get
just
another one, right?
right. Now you look at a game like the other day against Maranacook, where you're
Right, you're
2-0
the
and it's
underdog.
an underdog now. That one's actually tough because you don't want to go into a defense too early, into like a defensive shell. But
You know, that,
you
that
have to be
was
aware that you're.
some of our talk at halftime on Saturday was to come out and do we come out and kind of go to some of our more running type formations, or do we come out and kind of stay spread out and wide open and try to go for something? We decided to go for it. It turned out pretty good there.
Now, but you were saying earlier today at the end of the game,
Right.
you had a decision.
Yeah, so at the end of the game, we kind of had to decide the opposite, where we wanted to, because we were ahead 2 scores, make them burn all their timeouts, run as much time off the clock as possible, and then, we took one shot on 4th down at the end zone, but, Wyatt was told probably 30 times during that timeout to throw it out of bounds if nobody was open, and that's what he did. So, we figured our defense, 2 scores ahead with them having to go the length of the field twice was good enough
That's
to
a
win
good-
it. So you just kind of play it safe. Played the percentages.
But one of the things, especially when you're talking about halftime, is there's the percentages, but there's also the psychological aspect.
Right.
If you say, we're kind of running out the clock too early,
Right.
your guys stop playing aggressive, and then things start to.
See that happen in basketball all the time. The teams go to the stall with 4, 5, 6 minutes to go in the game, and all of a sudden that 12-point lead is shrunk right down to nothing in a hurry.
Here the Hornets got another corner. It's a nice ball, but nobody's on it.
Oh, good one. Good one.
Oh, they almost left that one for Perkins.
Oh.
And actually, one of the things tonight with 25 minutes. Oh, they looked away.
Nonowic's,
Nonowitz is good.
she's sturdy.
Oh, and there it is on the back post.
Got
and
it.
in.
Got it. You know what? That was a good job by
Caden
Nair
Air.
to put that in, but that play was Nonowic's.
We
Won
getting,
the,
we getting the replay?
yeah, won the,
Oh, they looked away.
Nonowic's, won the
Nonowicz is
50-50
good.
ball. She's sturdy. And the other girl kind of
Oh, and there it is on the back post.
Yeah.
And in.
Fell down, and the other girl actually
You know
fell
what?
down. That was a good job by
Caden
Nair
Air.
to put that in, but great play for Allie.
I've been really impressed with the speed at which Nonowitz plays. And I don't know if this is something maybe you see in basketball too, but how quickly somebody makes the decision and then does it.
Right.
Well,
and can stay in control.
Yes, it's not just like you're still putting some thought behind it, and you're
Right.
making a good decision. But sometimes the what players don't realize is you're not being guarded. You take that extra couple seconds, you make the pass, and you might complete it, but you have allowed the defense to reset, and
Right.
you've lost all speed of attack. Oh, here we go.
Oh, I think we had a few people offsides right there.
Yep. Actually, Anair was way offside, but if she didn't play the ball, they wouldn't necessarily call it. I think it was probably pretty close on Taylor White being called off.
There we go.
There we go, and nobody's offside here.
That's
Leah's
the
going to
chip
get to
and
run.
I'll cross it down.
But now Anair is offside because she ran ahead of the play. Leah. Oh, goes
Off
near
the
post.
Man, that's twice.
Can we get a replay of that one too? I really want you to use the replay button as much as you possibly can. We have that replay technology. I feel like we gotta.
We gotta use it.
Oh, Gentura has let out a gasp in the comments. I'm not sure. I think that was for the ball off the post.
I hope it's not for us. Taylor White.
She's really good.
She's super aggressive.
Leah gets down. Nice cross there.
Oh, almost. Stay with it.
Now, there's another decision that's a little different from a coaching perspective. Is at what point in a game like this do you go to the bench? And that's
Right.
something I know you have to. That comes up often in football.
Right. Our rule used to be 33 points because that was 5 scores. But now with the running clock aspect, if you're up by 35, the clock runs. So now our rule is 35.
And then
make
let
the
it-
clock run, and that's usually our time to sub in and get some other guys out there. But, you know, sometimes, too, there's some guys that come out a little earlier because maybe they're nursing an injury that week and they're able to play, but you want to cut down their reps, or maybe sometimes guys go to one side of the ball or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's also some of the players who are the backups. And not the deep backups,
Right.
but the like immediate
Call them
backups.
the primary backups.
The primary backups, I think you want to get in
when it's still
when it's
real.
still close.
Yep.
But you're up a couple more goals, you can get more playing
Right.
time maybe than you would
Right.
if you were behind or tie game. Nice pass back. Oh, and a nice long ball. And there's going to get this one. Try to leave it to Perkins, but a little bit of a miscommunication. You always want people to pass back, but it's really important that both players know what's happening.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just setting the other team up to go back on offense against you. Hawksley. Now, wouldn't
Yeah,
that have been
she's-
better with the hawk noise?
Yes, it would have. She pretty much erases anything that they put back there.
Yes. Yes.
Right? She
Yes, she
just
does.
sitting back there, pouncing on it. Lawrence really hasn't mounted any offense this half at all.
Yeah.
You know, we've done a good job of putting the pressure on them in our own zone, and when it does come out, Alex and Maddie and some of the other defensive players have done a nice job of chipping it back in there.
Yep. The other thing too, and I'm not actually sure about this with Hawks because I haven't seen enough of it, but sometimes those sweepers. Oh, here we were a little bit too long there. It's going to get to the goalie before Leavitt can close. But sometimes late, if it's tied or you're losing,
Right.
those are also the players you can send up on offense.
Right.
Obviously, your sweeper's one of, if not the best player on the team.
Right.
Or at least the surest, you know, with their foot. You can't afford mistakes back there. Oh,
we go.
here's Leah.
Oh,
Puts it in.
There we go.
And that is 4-0.
4-0. Good go out. The way Lotus is kicking the ball out here tonight, too. She's got a good foot.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure
With
next
their
year
foot.
we shouldn't maybe
You can't
try
afford to be recruiting her to be the
try
kicker.
to get her to kick some field goal.
Oh,
There we go.
here's Leah.
Oh.
Puts it in.
There we
We
go. We need to get that
and that
rule
is
changed.
4-0. I know. We
Soccer
recall way
person.
back Joey Marr
Yes.
was going
Yes,
to be the
first year
kicker.
I was here, we thought that was a done deal.
Hey, our score is not updated, what you're seeing. Because it is, in fact, not 2-0. We're going to get
Crack staff on it.
our staff will be on this pretty soon. Meanwhile, Leah's going to look to get right back on
Get
offense.
another one before they get it fixed.
I think it's still 1 goal off. We're getting closer.
Kaylee, good. That was a nice play. It's
Let's
34.
step up Zoe Capone.
Yeah, just checked into the game, I think, a few minutes ago.
Pinning it right back in.
Pretty
That's
good
another
throw.
place you can actually get offense from, too. Is those outside defenders when the ball's... They can fire shots from way out deep. Sometimes they score goals from... Score goal or
Way
get an
downtown.
assist. Way downtown. It's like the Steph Curry of
Right.
soccer.
There we go.
Oh, they are definitely offside.
The good thing is when we're getting called for offsides, it's not like it's just one person. It's like
It's a
3
Z,
people at
yeah,
once. They're,
yeah.
they're sharing it. So
Now, you might wonder why he hesitates, but if you are offside and you make no attempt to play the ball, they won't call it. So another player who was onside could go do it, but once they start to run towards the ball, now they're going to call
I'm going to
offside.
ask Brady, but in hockey, can the goalie wave off like icing? Can the goalie in soccer do anything like
They
that?
can't wave
Can't
off
wave off offsides.
offsides, no.
Now I got this. We're good.
The ref can wave off penalties with a play on.
Really?
Yeah, and they actually do it all the time because sometimes,
It doesn't affect the
It-
play.
not even just that, but it could actually hurt the play. There are plays where you'd way
Gotcha.
rather just continue playing.
Right. So like in basketball, when you have a layup and some guy hand checks you at half court and they blow it dead.
Oh yeah,
Instead of
that's
giving you the layup. You get the ball out of bounds. I think we had a pretty good collision there.
Oh.
Both girls getting up a little slow. I can't imagine much is going to hurt Alex Oxley.
Yeah,
She'll limp that thing off.
took a shot, but yeah, Alex Hoxley is very tough in any sport and also just in the classroom everywhere else.
I have Alex in physics this year.
Not much throws her off.
Nope. Carly Leavitt certainly not as busy tonight as she was this weekend in the homecoming game against Miranda Cook. There we go. That's a good pass.
Oh, and that one. Now Leah's offside, as you can see, and she's back on. Oh, we have a.
The pushy vendors back with cupcakes.
Do we know? Can we get an idea on this? Hopefully, you can hear that noise from home. We have a very effective parent selling cupcakes. It looks like.
Yeah, and I have a limited trust of people with red beards like Coach Gray, Coach Leavitt.
Right. With good reason,
right.
based on your experience. Yeah. "17 minutes to go. Looks like the Hornets have subbed some, but have kept many of their primary ends. So
You got to think at some point some of these seniors who started the game and maybe don't get to play as much sometimes might get back in here.
right, I think actually that may have happened. Some. Perkins sends the ball up.
Come on, Nonwicks, make a play on it.
Good pressure from both sides. Oh, nice ball in. Leah's going to try to turn, but she's got someone on her back. Meanwhile, now you just start to get goal hungry, but that can be good too. Everybody's thinking about firing their shot. And there it is. Oh, off the post. Oh, no good on the rebound.
Good for the field goal. She split the uprights.
Yes.
Not going to get a goal there.
Oh, and we get a great replay.
Oh, just missed.
That one's tough too because on that rebound especially, the goal's wide open.
Right.
You just have to tap it in.
Yep.
But when you're in that moment,
We actually talked about it at halftime. That play we came out and ran to Damien where he caught the long pass down the sideline to remind the quarterback on those. If he's really wide open, don't overthrow him.
oh right, because
You
it's
have to throw
too.
it so he can catch it. And I actually underthrew him a little bit on that, kind of by design, to make sure that we could catch it. And then Damien's pretty fast, so.
Yeah, I would say so. Now I saw the touchdown, but I didn't. What was the actual play?
It's a play that we call Cujo, which means curl wheel in our football vernacular. So Keegan was the outside receiver. He ran a curl to kind of suck up the cornerback. And then Damien was the inside receiver, and he ran a wheel to run by that guy. And, sometimes the curl accidentally picks off the free safety as well, which...
Like the rub play, like they talk about?
Just a rub route,
So as long as you're still running your route and not...
Right. Actually, our guy, Keegan, was pretty stationary, and they didn't run into each other, but the free safety also bit on the curl, so it was like double wide open because it sucked up two defenders. So.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering is how he ended up that open. But it was just bringing all that attention to Keegan. Well, one of the things with the football team this year is that you guys have so many weapons.
Right. I'm not sure that one was offsides. Yes, we do. A lot of different guys, that can carry the ball and catch the ball. And
that's got to be tough for teams to try to scheme against.
Yeah, like when we schemed for Wells, you know that really just 2 or 3 guys are going to carry the ball the entire night. And, for us, I'd say it's pretty typical that, between 8 and 10 guys are gonna do something with it. So.
Yeah, and you have so many guys with speed that.
Right.
I assume most teams are going to have a good defender who's really fast that you could put on. But who are you going to even
choose?
Right. I mean, between the Calder twins,
right? Breakaway
Mark, here we go. And there, it's got some space. See if she can send. She fires it.
Also good for 3.
And I don't fault her for taking the shot there, but if she had crossed it, she did have like 3 Hornets on the far post.
Ooh, nice move.
That
number 3? This feels like that's somewhere in
number 3 for us.
Number 9 maybe? Or number 3. I couldn't.
3 is Emma Chason, and
away,
9 is Katie Bilodeau. Oh, that's Katie Bilodeau.
Katie Bilodeau, yep, number 9.
Oh, and here she is. Nice cross in. There's a foul coming back. At this point, this is almost like a drill you would run.
Right.
Where you're bringing it in the side over and over again and then just continually crossing it back.
Right.
Those diagonal back passes. What I was looking at, I looked away for a second. So Madomic is we have Friday. That's going to be
the big game, huh?
That's going to be the game. Oh, over.
Pretty much a must-win for us to get into the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know about a tie. What that would do.
Oh yeah, I forgot about ties.
But they beat us 2-1 the first time.
Yep.
And our teams really seem to come on in the second half of the year. So hopefully a good result. So we'll be doing the boys game here. There's going to be a lot going on Friday.
We are at Cape on Friday, making the trip down to Cape Elizabeth. Hopefully it won't be as foggy as last year. Last year you literally could not see us in the white uniforms on the field from our sideline.
Now, obviously we want fans to go, but that game going to be streamed somewhere?
Not that I know of. I do believe, though, I was contacted by Channel 13 if you watch the Friday Night Lights football show at 11:30, or if you DVR it. It's the game of the week, and some of the Hornet coaches and players are going to make an appearance on the post-game show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Is that going to be at the field, or are you guys going down to the studio?
We're in studio, yeah.
Nice.
In studio. Good chance to rub elbows with Charlie Lepresti and David and Jennifer Long and those guys.
Now, so if a fan is planning to go to the game, obviously you'll be able to watch the boys' game streamed later, or if you're here at the boys' game, you can watch that later. And they're
Check in and see the highlights.
how many football games do you think are getting streamed on a Friday night?
Get about three to four a night usually.
Do you know many other high schools that do what we do?
Nokomis has a similar setup. Boy, there's another school. I wish I could remember who it was that is going to stream their first game coming up here too.
Nice. Now, if you're a student watching this and you're thinking this sounds like fun, I would like to be either camera or production or commentary.
Right.
What should they do?
They just need to come down and see me, or if you'd like to enroll just in the class, and there's more to the class than just the sports stuff. We put together public service announcements, commercials, short movies. You kind of have your own individual project that you complete over the course of the semester. So, a lot of cool stuff going on.
Here we have a nice run down the side, and I think that's Katie Piloto there. Bring it up. Yeah, the one area I think we need more people to do everything, but I really think we need to develop some more people that want to do commentary.
Yes. Yep.
If you're watching this sometime before Friday and you're thinking you really want to do commentary, the potential to do commentary at the boys soccer game Friday is there.
We are in need of a few people for Friday night. We should be able to skinny it up by the end of the week, though. Usually at Buzz Media, things tend to come together.
Yes. And this year with the Wi-Fi, and I know this has been requested, I think we're hoping to get a couple hockey games in.
Yes.
Here we can get Wi-Fi at the rink.
Yep.
But again, we need more students to join up the Buzz Media staff. Potentially in a hockey game, if it's the right night, it could possibly be some basketball.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yep. 8.5 minutes to go. 4-0 lead for the Hornets.
Yeah, so
Looking
we have
good.
As you may be accustomed to Buzz Media, when the game's not as close, we tend not to talk about it as much.
There you go, Julia.
Is Julia a senior too?
I think so. I have to double check that.
I believe I heard them
Yes,
announcing.
she is.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the captains.
Who are all the captains?
It's like you got Alex Oxley, Maddie Springer, Julia White, McKenna Redstone, and Taylor White.
All
Yeah, go ahead.
all high quality.
Yeah, yeah.
As I hear the stop playing with it, that's another skill you need from your sweeper. Is you don't really look for somebody who's going to take dribbles with the ball.
Right.
You want
It's more
somebody
like a power forward in basketball, right? Like
Yeah.
one or two dribbles get to the rim, as opposed to, sometimes like the Marky Herman, a couple crossovers, maybe behind the back before I make my way to the hoop.
That's a lot more similar to what you see like Leah do up there.
Right.
And sometimes it's going to get taken away, but that's okay.
Right.
If your forwards take a few extra dribbles sometimes it's okay.
Sometimes you gotta
Because sometimes it works.
Tell them to stay in their lane.
Yeah.
It's like Haley Holbrook checking into the game, another senior. And number 27, Maddie Lundfest, also checking back in. Finishing
Lot
up
of
on
seniors.
Senior night, yeah.
Did you see how big the crowd was for senior night? The families and just everything?
Yeah, it was awesome. Always a good event here.
I don't even know what the call is at this point.
Offsides.
That makes sense. So we were talking at halftime about what we would want on Leavitt, and Ben had a couple for Buzz Media.
Yep.
Ben had a couple suggestions. One would be having a player mic'd up,
Ooh.
which I don't know if we can do that, but it would be awesome. The other idea was having a camera.
That seems more like something you do in like a celebrity game.
If we
alumni game, maybe.
If we do like a,
Good header.
I know in the
Matt.
past we've done a staff field hockey game. I would love the staff media game
Yep,
to be
mic'd up.
streamed.
Yep.
Caitlin Air is fast, and she
is.
is vicious now. But there she slows it down a little bit. Sends it into Haley.
It's a call there.
Coming out.
What's that call?
I think he's calling the handball.
Oh, the handball. All right.
Not normally
Makes sense.
clapping, but it's a little different than the normal one, but I'm pretty sure that's what he's going for.
I think you usually applauded people as you call the penalty on them.
Soccer refs, and I'm sure it's like this in other sports, some refs are really good at communicating everything they're calling, and
Others
some are
not so
not
much.
at all.
Oh, nice move.
She cuts right through. Taylor. Oh, and a nice ball. Up to there.
What are they going to call there? Nothing.
Nah. That was pretty clean.
Lawrence girls are pretty tired at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure. With injuries, I'm not sure how many subs if they have any subs right
I see a lot of people in blankets on the side.
Yes, I do.
Don't see many looking to check in.
They may be at the point where they're just playing with who they got. I know in a summer game when I've had no subs before, you have to switch positions.
Oh.
Put someone up at forward,
Right.
perhaps, to get a rest.
Right.
We had a men's league that we played in for a while, and it was often the men's league had no subs. We just had to go with what we had. If you needed a drink, you just go get a drink.
Just go.
And then get back. And the men's league players tend to not be in the type of conditioning that,
can well imagine, right?
Yes.
4 minutes to go. The 4-0 lead looks pretty safe here. Be nice to see maybe Lenfest or Holbrook punch one in here, though, on a senior night goal. Similar to like at the end of the game when we give Stoney the ball. We did it Poland. It was awesome. I mentioned something in the meeting the other day, and he said, "Coach, run that play for me. I'm averaging 8 yards a carry." Also, I hope Stoney's listening at home. Grossed me out today. He was dipping his tater tots in guacamole. I know. Never seen it. He claims it's good. I don't know.
I'm not sure I'd take his judgment there.
Right.
Hoxley's going to send a long ball up through.
Come on, Haley.
Haley, but Caitlin and Air's going to run, and Caitlin's going to be just her and the goalie.
Defender did a good job of cutting off the angle there to let her cross it over to the far post.
Yep. And you really did. Kate's fast.
She can run.
She has not yet been able to punch one in. Oh, so my question for you is, if there's one new thing that Buzz Media could add, what would you?
Oh, here we go. Come on, Haley.
Here we go, Haley.
Put it in.
Oh, nice shot.
Almost.
A little bit wide.
Almost.
She had a good, solid strike on the ball there.
Very good. One thing that I would want for us, geez, I don't know, like a piece of equipment, or
so I can tell you mine, and this might
Okay,
help.
go ahead.
I want the telestrator. I want to be drawing on the instant replays.
all right. I don't know. A drone would be kind of cool.
Yes, yes, it would.
That would be all right.
We
Fire from deep.
somebody suggested when we talked about that wasn't allowed, but I don't know. Trying to get Haley opportunity there. Yeah, it was when we brought it up at one of the games. It was said that that's against MPA rules. I don't know if that's.
I believe it is. When we played Biddeford one year, they had a drone that they were using to film the game from. And then the next year, when we went there, I asked about it, and they said there was a new MPA rule that you cannot use them anymore. So
Now, what if we have one those cameras on the line? Oh,
that would be pretty sweet too.
because I'm assuming the drone thing might be a risk factor. If your drone ran out of batteries, came down on somebody, that might not be great.
Probably not. Come on, Maddie. Hustle keeps it in bounds. Oh.
Just got the quick throw, gets it in.
Oh.
Chloe tried to send it in, but spun it out of bounds with 1:20 to go. It's running out of chance to see it one more. There's McKenna. That's definitely offside.
Yep.
Getting some discussion from the crowd there.
Yes.
Oh, here's Haley. She is not offside. She's just her and the goalie. Oh!
Get in! Maddie.
Oh!
Straight
Maddie
there.
Ledmus.
Oh. So
Even-
close.
Even without a goal, at least it's
So
still a nice
close,
moment to
right.
see those seniors
Right.
close it in. We do have the replay of that one. You'll see how close it came. Oh!
Right
Maddie
there.
Ledmus.
Really wanted it. I'm sure you heard the crowd.
Right. Well, definitely a good night for the seniors tonight.
Yeah.
Home field with a win. Everybody contributed. Crowd was into it. Definitely deserve the standing ovation that they're getting right now from the crowd. And you've got the Hunter's Moon over there in the background.
Oh, yes, just arrived. Can we get a shot of that on the moon? That was a good call. I didn't know it was the Hunter's Moon.
Yeah. Well, I read it on the Twitter the other day. I'm not sure what it means.
All right. Well,
All right.
thank you. Thanks for tuning in, and you can tune back in on Friday for the
Friday
boys
night.
game.
You got it.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.